Let's see, how can we create a Excel form that automatically can insert new data onto the table that we have, and we can also get rid of the row if we specify the row number right here. Press enter and then hit this button right here, remove, and that way the row is deleted successfully. Okay, that's it. So let's learn on how can we create this automatically form in Excel that can add and also removes informations that we have on a table, step by step from scratch. Let's go. To get started, let's create the spreadsheet, the template that we need to use. And in this video, I want to use a stock control or a inventory management system to track all the inflows and the outflows of items. However, if you want to create a different spreadsheet, such as a sales spreadsheet, or a purchase spreadsheet, or a freight control, a supermarket spreadsheet, doesn't matter, because this step by step is going to work in any type of different spreadsheet. My data set, as I said, is going to be a stock control, and I want to start in the 10th row. Let's go with the informations such as the date, that is very important, maybe the type, that can be a inflow or a outflow. I can have the product name, the brand, maybe the supplier name, and of course the quantity, and the unit price or unit value, let's say, and the total value. Okay, that's it. Those are the informations that I need to use. However, before we create the form, let's make sure all the columns are properly sized or to contain the text that we are going to add within the cell. As the date, I want to start with January 1st of 2025, enter. Okay, here we have the first error because I need to increase the width of this specific column to be able to see the content. In between the column B and C, I can click, hold, and drag to the right, like this. And I can apply the same step to all the other columns that I have. Let's say the type in this specific data entry here in this row is going to be a inflow, okay, of the product item A. The brand is going to be 123, and the supplier is going to be John's Market, okay. Let me increase the width of this column, the width of the column D, and also the width of the column C. Quantity, unit value, and total value, I also want to increase the width. However, I'm selecting all those three columns at once, because that way I can evenly increase the size, the width of those columns. The quantity is going to be 5, unit value, let's say 9.41. So that way the total value is going to be equal unit value times the quantity, enter. So as we can notice, in the total value, I'm going to have a formula. And maybe here in the type, I can have a conditional formatting to automatically fill the cells with red or green, depends on the type. So let's do it. I'm going to click on the cell and then Home tab, conditional formatting, highlight cells rules, equal to. I want to highlight the cell if I have inflow, it's equal to green. And if I have Home tab, conditional formatting, equal to outflow, I need to have a red color. Okay, so the cell is going to be automatically filled with green or red based on that criteria that I have. Now let me select all the things that I have, everything. Home tab, I want to middle align and center align. Okay, maybe I can put everything in bold. And the last thing, I can go to border and all borders. Okay, I want to select the header and fill with a different color, such as a blue one. And the font text, I want to highlight with this white color, let's say. Okay, that's it. I think I'm done. One big problem here is if I scroll down my spreadsheet, I'm going to lose the reference or the header that I'm creating. And we are also going to lose the form that we're going to add here at the top. So to make sure we can fix the header in the Excel, what we can do is I can click on this cell right here because I want to fix all the informations that are above. And then I can go to View and then Freeze Panes and then the first option. Okay, that's it. Now, even though we move the spreadsheet down, we scroll down or up, we can maintain, we can fix those cells at the top like this. Okay, now let's move on and create the form. The first form that I want to use is the one where we can add informations. So let me select all those cells here underneath, like this, both of those information, right click and then copy. Now let's go to maybe this cell right here, right click and then paste. I can change the header just to make it differ to the one underneath, and then I can go to Home tab and the header maybe can be green like this, and also maybe the informations underneath can be with a different color, maybe a blue one or a green one, just to make it different. The inflow, outflow, okay, it can maintain this conditional formatting and all the other informations are right. Another thing that I want to create is remove row number and then colon, enter. I can select this cell right here and the cell to the right and make sure I merge and center to create a larger cell. And in the cell underneath, I want to do the same thing. Select both of those cells, merge and center. And let's say I want to get rid of the row number 15. This is going to remove the informations, the data that I have within this specific row. But anyways, let me select again both of those cells, and then I can use all borders. In the header, I can use a bold font and also a white color with a red background. And as the number, I can increase a little bit the font size, maybe to 16, put in bold, and the font color, maybe I can use a red one, like this. Okay, so my form is done. However, what we need to do now is the automations. Let's say every time I add here a value, I want to automatically click on a button, and this button automatically updates the table, inputting the new information. So let's go here to Insert and then Shapes, and then I can use a rectangle. Let's start with the Delete Row one. Click, hold, and drag to set the area of the rectangle. 1, 2, within the button to be able to write down whatever you need, such as remove, and then 1, 2 to select everything. Home tab, bold, and then align in the middle and center. Increase the font size, and also we can go to shape format and change it to a different one. Maybe we can use this orange. Okay, let me right click on this button, copy. Now to the side, right click, paste, because that way we can simply copy and paste the button and change the remove text to add and change the format to a green one. And that's it, we're done with the buttons. Now it's time to automate tasks in Excel. And to do it, we can use the Developer tab to help us. However, if you do not have access to the Developer tab, the easiest way, in my opinion, to enable the Developer tab is in any blank spot in the ribbon, you can right-click and then you can go to Customize the ribbon. Instead of using popular commands, you can go down to All tabs and you can use Developer or click on Developer, then click Add, and then click OK. Simple as that. This is how you can enable the Developer tab. Now let's go here to Record Macro. And what a macro does is, it's going to save everything that you do on your spreadsheet. Let's say we add a new row right here, and then you copy and paste the information above to the table underneath. This is a automation, let's say, because all those clicks, all those copy and paste keys that you need to use are going to be stored within the macro. So let's go. This first macro is going to be called, I'm going to call it add, and then OK. The first step of this macro is going to be click in the first row underneath the header of my table. So click and then right click and then insert. Okay, now we have a blank row. Of course, it's not exactly a blank row because it's using the format, the colors of the row above. However, we're going to solve this problem in just 1 minute. Now let's move on here to the informations in the form. We can copy everything, select and copy, right click, copy, go down to the row that we added before, right click in the first cell, and then we can paste. However, as we can notice, the informations that we have maybe is not properly equal to the second row, because we have a green color and then we have a black color. And to copy and paste the format that we have in the row underneath, we can select everything in this row, okay? We can go to the Home tab and then Format Painter, click Ons. Now let me go down again and select all the first row, click, hold and drag to the right, like this, and we're done. However, before we're done, actually, maybe we can get rid of the informations that we added here before in the form. So let me select everything, delete the quantity, the unit value. Maybe the total value is something that I do not want to delete because it's a formula. So let's be mindful about that. Let me move back and click on date, like this, and we're done. So developer, stop recording. Now the steps that we did here together are stored within macros. And if you click on macros, you can see and check the macro that we just did. So this is how basically we can create a macro and a automation in Excel. Now it's time to create the second automation to get rid of, to remove a specified row. Let's say I want to get rid of the row number 12 or the row number 11. I can specify this row right here, click remove, and what we're going to have is the selection of the entire row, right click, and then delete this specific row. However, we need to automate this task. And the easiest and simplest way to automate this task is using the code that I'm going to leave in the description or in the comments, okay? So I want to select everything that I have here, right click, copy. You can do the same using the comment, the description that I'm going to leave in this video. So let me go to Visual Basic, and that way we're going to open up this different window in Excel. Let's go to modules 1, 2. As we can notice, I have the first module 1, 2 that is all about the macro that we create together. However, it's time to create a new module to get rid of the rows. Let me right click in this area to the left, insert a new module. In the second module, let me double click 1, 2, and now let me go to this right panel, click, and then right click, and then paste everything that I did copy before. As we can notice, this code right here is not that complex. However, to simplify what is going on is Excel is going to take the number that you have in the cell A1 and then get rid of the row based on the value, the number that you have within this specific cell. However, we are not going to use the cell A1, so it's very important to change the A1 reference to the cell that we are using. So let me bring this panel down, click, hold and drag. Now let me go here to the sheet 1, and as we can notice, the cell that we are using is this one right here, and this cell coordinate is B6 because it's in the B column and in the 6th row. So let me open again the Visual Basic, and I need to change A1 to B6 here, also here, and here too. That's it, simple as that. Now let me close this panel and right click on remove and then go to assign macro. And what we're going to do now is we can notice that we have two macros, the one that we create step by step and the one that we copy and paste. This one that we copy and paste, delete row, is the one that we're going to assign to this button. So double click, 1, 2. Now let's go to the add button, right click, and then assign macro. Double click on add, 1, 2. That's it, we're done. Let's make sure everything is properly working. If I go here and insert a new information such as January 1st of 2025, type is going to be outflow. As we can notice, it's automatically filled with the red color. Item B, brand ABC, supplier name is going to be mol 123, quantity 100, unit value 4 and 4.12. Okay, now let me click add, and as we can notice, this new item is already here. It came from here and goes all the way down to the first row that we have on our table. Simple as that. And if I want to get rid of this row or this one, let's make sure it's working. I want to specify here the row number 11, enter, and then remove. As we can notice, automatically the row is going to be removed, and we also have a message, row 11 deleted successfully, and then okay, that's it. Now to make sure the automations that you did are properly saved in Excel, we need to change this extension right here. So let's click on File, and then we can click on Save As, and then click Browse, and then we can save this Excel file anywhere on our computer. However, the important thing is Save As type. I need to click and then change to Excel Macro Enabled Workbook, XLSM. Click, and then we can go and click Save. Simple as that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this simple video on how can we create a beautiful and modern form in Excel. And if you have any questions, drop a comment down below, and I see you in the next one.